6:45. This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. The news edited by Lal Mallavarachi, read by Soundithavam. The President instructed the authorities to complete the administration of booster doses within the next 2 weeks. Finance Minister Basil Rajapaksa assured that the government will meet all foreign debt due in 2022. Development work in the Salasmasthana sacred area in Polonnaruwa will be expedited. The Preksha Art Festival will be held from today. India's Exim Bank has extended over $440 million worth credit line for the Sri Lankan development projects. In world news, the US inflation hits highest level for 40 years. President Gotabaya Rajapaksa yesterday instructed the members of the Special Committee on COVID-19 Control to take necessary steps to complete the administration of booster doses within the next 2 weeks. This is to control the spread of the virus during the upcoming festive season. All those who have completed 3 months after receiving the second dose are eligible to receive the Pfizer-BioNTech vaccine as the booster dose. Accordingly, eligible persons have the opportunity to receive the vaccine starting from today at any inoculation centre. Observations have revealed that the vast majority of confirmed cases of COVID-19 reported in the recent days are from among the unvaccinated people. Accordingly, the President gave directives to educate the people in this regard and to provide the vaccine as soon as possible. Legal advice has been sought with regard to preventing those who have not obtained the vaccine from entering public places in order to prevent the spread of the virus. The third reading of the Appropriation Bill 2022 was passed in Parliament with amendments yesterday by a majority of 93 votes. Announcing the results of the division, which followed the conclusion of the committee stage debate, the Speaker said that 157 lawmakers had voted in favour while 64 voted against. Parliament was subsequently adjourned until January 11, 2022. Delivering the reply speech in the debate on the Appropriation Bill 2022, Finance Minister Basil Rajapaksa assured that the government will meet all foreign debt due in 2022. He added that the President and the Prime Minister have also assured their fullest support in this task. The government is expected to service $500 million as foreign debt in January 2022 and $1,000 million in July 2022. He noted that the government has a suitable plan to service these debts. Minister Basil Rajapaksa stressed that the governing power will not be given to any party without closing up the debts. Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa instructed the relevant officials to expedite the development work in the Salasmasthana sacred area in Polonnaruwa. The road network and common amenities in the area will be developed under this project. The Premier had a discussion with the Mahasangha and officials at Temple Trees yesterday in this regard. The Preksha Art Festival will be held from today to the 21st of this month at the Tower Hall, Maradana. There will be 2 shows every day, one at 3:30 p.m. and the other starts at 6:30 p.m. The main objective of this show is to collect funds to promote the drama culture, which has been severely affected due to COVID-19. This cultural show was jointly organised by the Cultural Affairs Department, Tower Hall Foundation, Sri Lanka Arts Council and the National Drama Advisory Council. This news broadcast comes to you from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.
A range of unmatched benefits with People's Credit Cards from People's Bank.
The Epidemiology Unit says that the daily count of COVID-19 cases confirmed in Sri Lanka moved to 754 yesterday. This brings the total number of confirmed cases in the country to 571,426. As many as 544,200 recoveries and 14,573 deaths have been confirmed in Sri Lanka since the COVID-19 outbreak. More than 12,600 active cases are currently under medical care. Mizukoshi Hideki, the newly appointed ambassador of Japan to Sri Lanka, meeting with Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa at Temple Trees on Thursday, has assured that the Japanese government is interested in providing employment opportunities to skilled Sri Lankan workers in Japan. Over the past few years, Sri Lanka and Japan have entered into 2 memoranda of understanding for the recruitment of low-skilled and specialized skilled workers. According to Foreign Minister Professor G.L. Peiris, under the Specified Skilled Workers Recruitment Programme, SSWRP, Sri Lanka has been allowed to send workers to Japan in 14 sectors. The Premier pointed out that there is a growing interest in the young community to learn Japanese. That concludes local news.
A range of unmatched benefits with People's Credit Cards from People's Bank. Discounts up to 60% and interest-free installment plans from selected merchants.
The main news story is brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
The Export-Import Bank of India, Exim Bank, has extended over $440 million worth of line of credit to the Sri Lankan government for financing development projects. Projects covered under the finance extended to Sri Lanka include water supply, supply of petroleum products, railway projects, defence and infrastructure projects, and came to you in the main news story.
The main news story was brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
Watchlight is brought to you by
Tertiary and Vocational Education Commission.
The Special Committee on COVID-19 Control yesterday decided to make the vaccination card mandatory when visiting public places in the future. The decision was reached as legal advice has been sought with regard to preventing the unvaccinated people from entering public places in a bid to curb the spread of COVID-19, and came to you in Watchlight.
If you follow technical and vocational education and training courses, select a course registered and accredited institute by TVEC. Be aware on unregistered institutes which are promoting without having registration. Visit www.tvec.gov.lk for more information. Message from Tertiary and Vocational Education Commission.
Coming up, World News.
Making headlines this morning, U.S. inflation hits highest level for 40 years. Nicaragua cuts ties with Taiwan in favor of Beijing. And Mexico truck crash, at least 54 people killed as trailer overturns. Prices for American consumers are rising at their fastest annual rate since June 1982. The Consumer Price Index CPI rose 6.8% in the year to November, according to the latest figures from the Bureau of Labor Statistics. Petrol prices jumped to 6.1%, while the cost of second-hand cars, rent and food also rose. However, the monthly pace of price rises at 0.8% in November was slightly lower than October's 0.9%. Nicaragua has become the latest country to cut diplomatic ties with Taiwan in favor of China. Taiwan said it was deeply saddened, adding that Nicaragua had disregarded their many years of friendship. The decision was praised by China, which demands that any country that wants diplomatic relations with it must cut existing ties with Taipei. It comes as the U.S. State Department on Friday called for democracies to expand engagement with Taiwan. At least 54 people have been killed and scores more injured after the truck they were being transported in crashed in southern Mexico, authorities say. More than 150 people said to be migrants from Central America were crammed into the truck's trailer when it rolled in the state of Chiapas. One resident heard a man implore his badly hurt companion, quote, "Remember what you promised your mother, hold on," unquote. Pictures show victims strewn across the road next to the overturned truck. Back to the headlines of the world news. U.S. inflation hits highest level for 40 years. Nicaragua cuts ties with Taiwan in favor of Beijing. And Mexico truck crash, at least 54 people killed as trailer overturns. That concludes this bulletin of world news.
Development News is brought to you by Let's take all out of the coconut tree and make the island thriving and prosperous. Call our hotline 1928. WhatsApp 070 400 1928.
The Ministry of Power and Energy has announced that the generating plants at the Norachole power plant are now fully functional. Accordingly, there will be no power cuts imposed in any part of the country going forward, the ministry said. That's Development News.
Development News was brought to you by the coconut tree is well grown in almost all the parts of the island. It is an exceptional source of extra income. The shell, the husk and almost all the parts of the coconut tree makes you money, providing you with an excellent extra source of income. It will also help to nourish the economy of the country. You will be guided with all necessary informations regarding the coconut cultivation, with the novel cultivation techniques and all other related and upgraded informations by the Coconut Research Institute, Lunavilla. Call our hotline 1928. WhatsApp 070 400 1928.
Moving on with sports news.
Skipper Tom Prest had excellent figures of 6 for 41 as the England under-19s notched up a 48-run victory over Sri Lanka in their fifth and final ODI played at the SSC grounds yesterday. However, Sri Lanka won the series 3-2. England only managed to win the first and last games. Sri Lanka's youth team, chasing a target of 214 runs, were bowled out for 166 in 35.1 overs. Tom Prest, who opened the attack, bowled a superb 10-over spell to claim 6 wickets for 41, while medium paceman Thomas Aspinwall captured 2 for 22. That's sports news. We look at business news next.
Cash through NSB globally and win wonderful gifts locally. Will you be the lucky winner of the NSB Golden Jubilee? 50 gold sovereigns for the top prize winner of the NSB Golden Jubilee. Scooters for the 10 second prize winners. iPhones for the 10 third prize winners. Mountain bikes for the 29 fourth prize winners. From October 1st, 2021 to September 30th, 2022. Remit a minimum of $100 or an equivalent amount in any foreign currency through NSB U Trust for 6 months consecutively. Send more money and increase the chances of winning.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
The National Chamber of Exporters of Sri Lanka recently announced the renewal of their strategic partnership with Bank of Ceylon, the latter being one of the principal partners of the NCE Annual Export Awards for the last many years. The Chamber signed a memorandum of understanding with the BOC last week at the Bank of Ceylon head office premises. Through this MOU, the BOC will extend a comprehensive array of financial solutions to member exporters of the Chamber through its recently launched Export Circle in line with the bank's 82nd anniversary celebrations. That's business news, economic news to follow.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
Cash through NSB globally and win wonderful gifts locally. Will you be the lucky winner of the NSB Golden Jubilee? 50 gold sovereigns for the top prize winner of the NSB Golden Jubilee. Scooters for the 10 second prize winners. iPhones for the 10 third prize winners. Mountain bikes for the 29 fourth prize winners.
In economic news, the central bank said it had raided at least 4 unauthorized money changers for giving rates higher than a mandated pegged rate. The central bank has set a 200 to the US dollar official soft peg, but due to partial convertibility offered, its credibility has declined and parallel exchange rates have sprung up. The central bank said 2 money changers in Vallavatta and 2 in Vennapur had been subject to spot examinations. The rate offered in parallel markets have been around 240 to the US dollar. That's economic news.
The weather report.
Showers or thundershowers will occur at a few places in the western, Sabaragamu and central provinces and in the Galle and Mathura districts during the evening or night. Fairly heavy rainfalls above 50 millimeters can be expected at some places in these areas. Several spells of light showers will occur in the eastern and Uva provinces. Misty conditions can be expected at some places in the western, Sabaragamu, central, southern and Uva provinces during the morning. To conclude this bulletin of news, a recap of the headlines. The President instructed the authorities to complete the administration of booster doses within the next 2 weeks. Finance Minister Basil Rajapaksa assured that the government will meet all foreign debt due in 2022. Development work in the Salasmastana sacred area in Polonnaruwa will be expedited. The Preksha Art Festival will be held from today. India's Exim Bank has extended over $440 million worth credit line for Sri Lankan development projects. And the US inflation hits highest level for 40 years. That concludes this morning's news broadcast.